As a matter of fact, the Cathedral Museum proudly owns one of the most important Durer collections, obviously in Malta, and one of the leading collections in the world, with a good number of original engravings, woodcuts and copper plates from the most important Renaissance German artists. The collection was donated to the Cathedral Museum in 1815 by one of the most important 19th century Maltese art lovers and collectors, Count Saverio Marchesi. One of the most important prints which we have is obviously Saint Jerome meditating in his cell. It is a beautiful engraving with a lot of symbols in it as well. And it is one of the master prints of Durer. First of all, Saint George has been always the patron saint of England, so it has a great importance as well for Malta, since Malta was under the British rule for a good number of years. But also St. George is the prototype saint against all evil. Besides this, the prints which we have, eventually two prints of St. George, and one of them is on horseback. It has a particular detailed impression of the armory of the saint, which is the same armory which was used during the period of Albrecht Dürer himself.
The selection of the numismatic program requires careful consideration. Some themes, such as anniversaries, are fairly predictable, but the Numismatics and Historical Publications Advisory Board tries to include something special among the 5 or 6 coins issued every year by the bank. Indeed, the coins issued in the past include a series highlighting the prehistoric temples, which are such an important part of the country's heritage, as well as significant events such as the hosting by Malta of the EU's presidency, the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, and Pope John Paul II's visit. The coins have to be aesthetically pleasing, of course, but the message they convey is just as important, and the bank spends hours researching the description of the theme, both for the annual brochure, the press release, and the informative literature that is issued for each new coin.
Doing this coin was a nice challenge, and when I started to research Durer, I was, very pleasantly surprised, because I knew he was a great artist, but when I started to see his etchings and engravings, I was, blown away. And we chose this because it's in the Durer Collection, and it's quite nice. It's St. George with the dragon, and a very particular dragon, if you can see here. And that's another thing which I admire in Durer, his creativity, his fantastic creatures. To reproduce it here, it's patience and skill, I suppose, and a lot of experience, because there's a lot of minute detail. Over there. So, but patience first and foremost, otherwise don't attempt to do something like this.
This is now the main textbook, the main volume of our collection, which was edited by Monsignor Don Juan Azzopardi, who recently passed away, unfortunately, and also of Mr. Joe Borge, who besides editing and finding new material on this publication, produced also brilliantly interpretations and photographs to enhance this publication. To mark the 550th anniversary of Durer, we thought of organizing an exhibition, not only to open up the doors for the main exhibition, which we have, the permanent exhibition, but also to put on exhibition other prints which we have from the Durer period and contemporaries. And it was also an experiment to liaise with the School of Arts so that the students may interpret in their own way in 2021 prints from our collection.